for next year's Spring Fling.
Find out how students can get free legal help on campus.
And learn how one UA club is striving for students to go green. All this and more tonight on Wildcast.
This is Wildcast.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Max Efren.
And I'm Monique Padilla. Thanks for joining us tonight on our last show of the school year, where we show off the best packages of the semester.
This Spring Fling Carnival has called Relito Parks its home for the past 13 years. Before that, it took place on the University of Arizona campus. Next year is the Carnival's 40-year anniversary, and Wildcast reporter Ted Skroback tells us there is a lot of momentum to move the event back to U of A grounds.
This is the 39th annual Spring Fling, and ASUA is in hopes that for the 40th anniversary, possibly will be moved to the U of A Mall.
Really hoping to bring it back for the 40th. That would be really great for us.
I'll put a number to it rather than just a regular one. It'll always remember the 40th.
I like the convenience of it here, but I like the atmosphere of the U of A much better.
The push for University of Arizona's student-run carnival to return onto campus soil has been a goal for student government presidents since 2010.
To move Spring Fling back to the UA Mall, and pretty much every president since then, that's been a really big part of their platform, is to bring it back.
ASUA surveyed Spring Fling visitors, finding that people wanting the event to stay at Relito Downs are part of the surrounding community that find the location more convenient. One longtime Tucsonan told me she's unsure if the Relito location is more convenient.
I don't know, because I don't know if it's really a central location. U of A is probably more of a central location, and you'd probably get more community to come to it.
The student government understands the community concerns, but still believes Tucson will support large events on the UA Mall.
Like we can see with the Tucson Festival of Books and things like that, the community is more than willing to come to the UA Mall to do things.
Students are the ones that would find their convenience because transportation to the event would become much easier.
And I think it would be more beneficial for everyone because the shuttles are nice, but it's kind of hard to always get the shuttles, and I think it'd be a lot easier because people are definitely more centrally located around the university.
As another year of tradition passes, whether it be at Relito or on campus, ASUA just wants to make sure the Spring Fling continues for many years to come.
This is our 39th year. We're hoping to stay for as many years as possible, be it here or at U of A. It's just a really great tradition and so many clubs benefit, so we're just hoping to keep it alive and thriving.
Saturday Night Live's very own Seth Meyers visited the UA for a comedy show at Centennial Hall. Wildcast reporter Devin Pate gave us an inside look at the event.
Centennial Hall is a place where thousands of people gather to watch performances and where students and professionals can perform on the same stage. This week was no different. Classroom by day, performance hall by night, the Wildcat Events Board at the University of Arizona brought Seth Meyers from Saturday Night Live to Centennial Hall for another showstopper. Marielle Wilk and Brian Namba from the board couldn't contain their excitement for the sold-out show as people filed in.
We're actually both members of the Wildcat Events Board, and they're the ones that are hosting it. And when we heard about the opportunity, we just really wanted to go see him.
Yeah, they also put it out on Facebook for everyone to know about, so they had really great deals for students to come early on and get tickets for better deals, and it was really exciting.
And it's nice because it's open to the Tucson community too, not just U of A students.
After the stand-up, Seth took questions and gave answers.
What's your second question? I'll do them together.
My second question was, can I have a hug?
Okay.
Well, that was my question. I ran to the line fast.
This is like turning into a Broadway musical. Oh, that was my question. Well, sometimes two people have the same idea.
On the side of Centennial Hall, right through these doors behind me, is where a select few were invited to meet Seth, take pictures, and praise him for his performance.
Right? I love SNL. I think it's really funny. So, I was like a total cheerleader and groupie when I figured it out. So, I was really excited that he showed up. We were looking for somebody that was going to bring out the students. I think you guys can tell from how filled Centennial was that it was a really big success. A lot of students saw him. We wanted someone who was going to be really funny, someone that kind of engaged the crowd. He made some really funny jokes, so we're really excited that it turned out to be such a success.
ASUA's Executive Vice President and Administrative Vice President talked about their experience at the show.
It was just really, his jokes are very targeted towards the audience, which I felt was very smart because we all related to it. He made a lot of different college life jokes, a lot of very like current issues kind of deal, I guess.
Yeah, I kept being like, oh my god, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that too.
Great dimples.
He does have great dimples.
Definitely accentuated as we were sitting
Yeah,
so close.
it took me like a good like 10 minutes to like not be fangirling because he was so close.
With another great event under their belt, the Wildcat Events Board can prepare for their next showstopper. For UATV, I'm Devin Pate.
The Arizona Board of Regents passed a 3% increase in tuition, as well as an $80 raise to the library fee this semester. The increase will begin this upcoming fall. Resident tuition will go up about $300 and out-of-state tuition about $800. The increase was weighed necessary by the board in response to heavy budget cuts that are being felt all across the state. Students who attended the discussion meeting earlier were reasonably upset by the prospect of an ever-growing debt, but student body representatives eventually agreed that the tuition hike was needed to cope with reduced state funding.
It's unfortunate that there was a lack of state funding, but hopefully it goes to the better good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the things the student body actually voted on to put in place, so they should be for the students. It's not just random stuff.
Definitely. Inspired by a book series and documentary with the same name, the new UA club, Half the Sky, was created in an effort to raise awareness about sex trafficking on campus and in the Tucson community. Wildcast reporter Caitlin Galante gives us an inside look.
Hi Wildcats! There's a new club on campus called Half the Sky that focuses on raising awareness on campus and in the community about human trafficking. Human trafficking is a very serious and dangerous issue that is happening throughout the world, and Half the Sky is getting the University of Arizona involved and informed on the matter.
Well, Half the Sky is a book and documentary. The documentary in the book is with the idea that women hold up half the sky. So the whole point of the book is to focus on women's oppression, and our focus of the club is really towards sex trafficking specifically. And that's really because we're a smaller club, we're just getting started, so we wanted to focus on one issue instead of getting a broad range of topics and being kind of overwhelmed with all the different causes we could focus towards.
Most students are unaware that human trafficking is happening right outside the university.
This is absolutely a relevant topic to members of U of A and members of the Tucson community. Just a few miles away from campus, women are getting picked up and coerced into the sex trafficking. I read an article the other day that a girl as young as 8 years old was found picked up from the street by law enforcers. So it's affecting everyone as young as 8 years old. That's ridiculous, and it needs to be stopped.
Students at the U of A, I think, should really know about this, and students everywhere, because people can be manipulated into sex trafficking without even realizing it.
Human trafficking is happening everywhere, even in Tucson. The club Half the Sky is coming up with ways to raise awareness in our community and keep the students informed about the issues happening in the world.
So we definitely want to get more people involved. I mean, 3 people is a good start, but we want to definitely expand. We want more people to care. We want passionate people, people who want to make a difference. And I'm sure there's plenty of people like that on campus. Goals are that we really want to maybe do like a percentage night, and that's like also a fun way, more like a social way to get people together and kind of talk about it, raise awareness.
Students can get involved by emailing uahalfthesky@gmail.com, and they can also follow our website, that's uahalfthesky.wordpress.com. Just really looking for anyone who wants to contribute to the cause and has skills that they think they can apply to the club.
I'm Caitlin Galante reporting for Wildcast.
Earlier this semester, Wildcast went totally wild with the new additions to San Diego Zoo's Australian Outback exhibit.
Welcome to a very special segment of Wildcast. Max and I are joined by Rick Schwartz. He is the global ambassador for the San Diego Zoo. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for having us.
And this is Peaches, right?
This is Peaches, yes. You know, we're out here traveling through Tucson, sharing with everybody all the exciting animals of Australia, because we're launching our Australian Outback this year at the end of May. And we've had Australian animals and koalas and everything, but they've kind of just been a general area, not really an official Australian-themed area. So we're really kicking that off this year, and with the other cockatoos, be it part of their flock or whatever the case may be. Now, do you want to bring the other one over?
Sure. Oh man, we're going.
Oh man.
Akimbo.
Now, the noise that the kookaburra here makes, the kookaburra is actually the largest bird in the kingfisher family. Kingfishers are found throughout the world, or throughout Africa and parts of Southeast Asia and whatnot. This species found in Australia only. They're kind of well known. Any movie or TV show that has jungle ambiance noise in the background, it's usually the kookaburra sound. Let's see if we can get them to go again. You guys going to trill with me? The trill okay, like that, okay? You ready?
Okay.
A red kangaroo. It's a female red kangaroo, and you know kangaroos are obviously well known throughout Australia. Don't eat the cables though; that's not a good idea. The shape of the kangaroo, it's classic. We see that right away. We know what it is. Some interesting facts though about the kangaroo. The back feet, as you'll see, no matter how fast or slow she's going, those back feet always move together. When we walk, our ligaments allow us to independently move our legs. When they move, the structure is basically set up. They always have to move the back feet at the same time. The tails and basically maintain their maneuverability that way. And this is Diesel here. He's like, Mom, what are you doing over there? Diesel is an 8-month-old Joey, and this is funny. People look at him and they're like, why do you have them all folded up in this pouch? Well, you can see his mom over there. She's not that big. The pouch really isn't that big. What they end up having to do is they fold up quite tightly. In fact, one of the more comfortable positions for the Joey is usually legs out like this, because they'll dive into the pouch head first. And then all of a sudden you just see these legs and tail sticking out.
Right.
He'll just hang out all day like that because that's his most comfortable position to be in. In fact, usually it's mom that says, all right, you're getting too big. It's time to get out.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Rick. This has been very educational, and we all look forward to, the San Diego Zoo, one of the biggest zoos in the world. We're all looking forward to the new exhibit and, seeing Peaches and, our other friends here. Absolutely.
And one thing for sure I want to make sure everyone knows, even if you can't go and enjoy it right now, online, what San Diego Zoo has done is actually, we have the sandiegozoo.org website. Go to our cams. We have koala cams where you can watch koalas in HD live from the zoo, polar bears, pandas, you name it. Even our condor now, which is sitting on an egg, we're going to have a condor cam probably set up for them also. So even if you can't get out to San Diego Zoo right away, you can go out on the website and really enjoy a lot of cool features.
That's fantastic.
Great. Thanks so much, Rick. And thanks everybody else. Be sure to visit the Australian Outback exhibit opening in May at the San Diego Zoo.
Stay with us after the break for this week's weather.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
With an undefeated 5-0 outcome for the Fall Classic Tournament.
The Occupy movement is taking hold because of its strength in numbers.
Tonight is the absolute last night to ride the trolley, as it is closing for 2 years.
I'm sitting on what used to be known as Bear Down Field, which will soon be U of A's new practice field.
I'm Evan Murray, reporting from McHale Center with Wildcast.
Welcome back. I'll now be handing you off to our weather reporter, Shay Sorensen, for this week's forecast. Shay?
Good evening, Wildcats. Today's high hit 99 degrees, which is the hottest we've seen this year, and Tuesday will also be the same temperature. On a positive note, at least we haven't hit the triple digits like our friends up north in Phoenix. Wednesday and Thursday will cool down just a little to 93 degrees, with Friday showing a high of 91. This weekend will be as hot as well with temperatures in the low Cats, but have a lovely summer, and I'll see you next semester.
Thank you, Shay. For those seeking legal advice, the University of Arizona provides free, confidential legal services here on campus. Wildcast reporter Marissa Lobos gave us the details on this convenient resource.
Have you ever wondered what you would do if you ran into legal problems and did not have enough money to hire an attorney? Well, you're in luck, because ASUA offers free, confidential legal advice for students from an attorney. Student Legal Services provides help to students currently enrolled in at least one class here at the University of Arizona, and it's absolutely free. I sat down with Susan Farrell, our student legal advisor here at the University of Arizona.
Well, we, and by that I mean me, because I'm the only person here, offer primarily legal advice to students who have pretty much any kind of legal problem. There are some other things that I sometimes do for people. I help a lot of students write letters. Sometimes I'll help them draft motions. but it's primarily advice.
The legal service advisor is a real lawyer and is licensed to practice law in the state of Arizona. All information given to the attorney will be kept strictly confidential and will not be released to anyone without the consent of the client.
Well, I'm a lawyer, and so when you come in here and have an appointment with me, unless it's a conflict with the university and you sign the waiver, you have formed an attorney-client relationship, which means that I have to keep everything you tell me confidential.
They are located in the Student Union Memorial Building in the ASUA offices, room 325, just above the U of A bookstore. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m.
So, I mean, it's a really good idea to have it because I know people that are out of town that don't, like, they can't just go home to get, like, legal advice, or, like, college students, we don't know anything about our, like, not necessarily about our rights, but, like, they can help us if something happens and we have no idea what to do about it. So it's a really good idea to have it.
Even though the attorneys offer several legal services, they're unable to help you with issues you may have with the university itself. They might be able to give you some advice, but you'd be required to sign a special waiver.
I cannot help if, well, I can't help if a student has a conflict with another student. That's a policy of the office. It just doesn't seem fair, because then whichever student gets here first gets free legal advice and the other person can't, because I can't give advice to two people.
More information can be found on their website at legal.asua.arizona.edu. This is Marissa Lobos reporting for Wildcast.
The nation was left shocked several weeks ago when 2 bombs went off at the Boston Marathon, killing 3 and injuring 176, according to CNN. 4 days later, the state of fear finally ended with the death of one suspect and the capture of the other. Brothers Jakar, 19, and Tamerlan Tsarnaev, 26, were stumbled upon by an MIT police officer who lost his life as the 2 shot him and then fled campus. They stole a car and escaped to nearby Watertown, where a gunfight broke out, leaving Tamerlan dead and his younger brother injured. Police set up a perimeter and checked house by house for hours until Zakar was finally found hiding under a tarp-covered boat. The investigation has now turned to motive, but the injuries Zakar sustained from being shot in the throat left him unable to speak for days. Eventually, he was charged with the use of weapon of mass destruction and malicious destruction of property, resulting in death. Zakar told FBI officials during questioning that him and his brother were defending Islam from the United States. A court date has not yet been set for this trial. When we look back on it, though, authorities did a very good job finding the suspects,
Right.
dealing with the matter, taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of. I think it was handled very well.
Right. And now that they do have the suspects, hopefully victims can find some sense of relief.
Absolutely.
Pope Benedict XVI stepped down earlier this year, making him the first pope to resign in nearly 600 years. Wildcast reporter Carino Gallardo asked people from around the Tucson what their thoughts were on the Pope decision.
On February 11, 2013, the Vatican of the Catholic Church confirmed that Pope Benedict XVI would resign the papacy later this month on February 28th, a choice Benedict states was due to declining health and old age. He will be the first pope to relinquish this position since Pope Gregory XII did 600 years ago. Father Bart Hutcherson of U of A's own St. Thomas More Catholic Newman Center expressed his thoughts on this historic event.
In general, I think that his resignation offers us just a remarkable view of his humanity. I think that people get old and tired and unable to do their jobs because of their age all the time. And I think we've had for 600 years this idea that the Pope couldn't resign or retire. Well, why should an 85-year-old Pope be different than anybody else?
University of Arizona students have also voiced their opinions about Pope Benedict's resignation and the future for the Catholic community.
He felt it was necessary. I'm happy he did it if he felt he couldn't continue. I'd much rather someone more capable than him, if he felt that he couldn't keep going, did it. Said it's weird that it doesn't happen very often, but at the same time I respect him for knowing that it was his time, he was done with it, and it was time to move on.
I believe our next pope definitely needs to be involved with the youth, because the youth are,
the foundation of the church.
Reporting for Wildcast, I'm Corina Gallardo.
Stay with us after the break for a look at what some students did this year to go green.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your CAT card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Students on campus, including Greek life, promoted Going Green by joining the Compost Cats. Reporter Cassandra Manriquez gave us the details on what this club is doing to promote a greener campus.
Compost Cats is a student-run organization that began in 2011. Though Compost Cats began as a pilot project serving the student union, the organization quickly gained a reputable identity in the Tucson community and began receiving phone calls from different local restaurants wanting to participate. Now, Compost Cats receives compost materials from Magpies, Raving Sage, Lovin' Spoonfuls, Whole Foods, and many other local eateries, not to mention materials from animal labs affiliated with the University of Arizona. Last Friday, the Compost Cats went where no Compost Cat had gone before, Tri-Delt. In efforts to get Greeks to think green, Students for Sustainability began the program Greeks Think Green. So far, Tri-Delt is the only Greek house participating in composting. Each day, a crew of 2 Compost Cats covers a different shift, making their rounds to different eateries, picking up compost and transferring it to the Western Agricultural Center. During this often 3-hour ride from restaurant to restaurant, the Compost Cats build a strong bond with each other.
Everybody just really was open and accepting, and I was treated as an equal immediately. Like, there's 12 or 13 of us, if you include Chet, and like, every opinion is valid, and we all help each other and support each other. And like on the run yesterday, Taryn and I, we talk about our lives, and we're becoming really good friends. And it's easy to when you have like 3 hours to spend with the other person.
Compost Cats recently became involved in a competition through the EPA. The competition is between 3 Arizona universities in an attempt to reduce space by 5% at each university.
I guess one of the challenges for the U of A is that we already have Compost Cats, so we've already reduced a lot of food waste for the U of A, but we would have to do 5% on top of that. Not to say that we can't do it, because I am sure we can.
In addition to promoting a greener community, the Compost Cats learn a lot of traits that extend far beyond agriculture.
We need to get things done in order to pull our weight. So you just learn that the best way to go through things is not to just try and rush through it or power through it, but just to problem solve with the person that you're working with, and just be patient in the beginning, and then the solution will come to you.
Reporting from the University of Arizona, I'm Cassandra Manriquez for Wildcast.
Last week, University of Arizona junior Dean Saxton, better known as Brother Dean, created controversy by holding a sign that said, "You deserve rape," the same day as a sexual awareness event on campus. Saxton regularly preaches on the UA Mall in front of Heritage Hill, condemning passersby to hell. Despite many complaints from people who viewed the sign, UA administration did not remove Saxton, claiming that he was within his constitutional rights and was not targeting anybody specifically. However, a YouTube video of the preaching shows Saxton making statements directed right at people who were simply walking by. It was reported in the news that Saxton allegedly spit on a Muslim girl who walked in front of him. The UA released a second statement saying that they were looking into all complaints before taking action.
Now around for almost 90 years here in Tucson, the annual rodeo fair was filled with cowboys and cowgirls showing off their skills. The day brought excitement and fun to residents and tourists alike. Reporter Serena Nafarate showed us how some spectators spent their day.
Break out your cowboy boots. It's rodeo time in Tucson. Also called La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, the Tucson Rodeo has been a tradition for almost 90 years. Created in 1925 to glamorize the Wild West lifestyle, the rodeo has endured and still attracts spectators year after year.
I think it's cool to, just like everything in Tucson, to meld all the different cultures that are here. Tucson's kind of a melting pot, and the biggest ingredient in that is probably like Western and Hispanic culture, and it's kind of a beautiful mix of the two together. And mutton busting is awesome.
The Tucson Rodeo Parade, the world's longest non-motorized parade, is a Tucson community tradition since 1925. Schools give the day off, major streets are closed, and spectators brave the cold weather for a chance to see a family member, a friend, or the parade's main attraction, the horses.
It's one of the top priorities for the city of Tucson. It's great. It's a great history, tradition. Hundreds of thousands of people come to it annually, and it's been going on for a long time. Oh, it's always worth it. Can't miss it. To see the show and all the people, all the cowboys and the cowgirls that come out. It's great.
We get to see the horses and everything, and we get to see the princess and the cowboys.
The Grand Marshals at this year's parade were none other than Captain Mark Kelly and former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Reporting for Wildcast, this is Sarina Nafarate.
Concussions are no laughing matter. Wildcast reporter Karina Gallardo reported on how these brain injuries affect those inflicted with them.
Concussions and traumatic brain injuries are a rising concern for physicians for today's young people, especially among student athletes, with symptoms, consequences, and long-lasting side effects too severe to ignore. Raising awareness of this issue is key. Dr. Sydney Rankin teaches a senior capstone physiology course that focuses on topics in the media that are relevant to physiology and healthcare. The class's current focus is on concussions.
The awareness brought on by the Super Bowl and by the increased frequency in girls soccer has really brought it to the fore, and I think we really need to address this as a society. And so what a great way for students to start thinking about it as community members or as physicians.
Adam Miller, a senior new cheerleader at the University of Arizona, spoke to Dr. Rankin's class regarding his 7 concussions and discussed the symptoms of his first grade 3 concussion that he received his freshman year on the high school football team.
I was just dazed, and I just woke up from being blacked out and couldn't even remember what I was doing, where I was, the months. I couldn't remember my address, my phone number. If you need to talk to somebody about it, go to a friend, go to a doctor, go to a family member. It doesn't matter. Just let them know what's going on so that, if something ever did happen again, they would know, hey, he's already had one, she's already had one, things might be worse.
According to the Sports Concussion Institute, 5 to 10% of athletes will experience a concussion in any given sports season. An estimated 47% of athletes do not report feeling any symptoms after a concussive blow.
Concussions get underestimated, but concussions really are a brain injury, just like other brain injuries. And we're learning a lot of information that if you have a concussion, you need to rest and get better from it.
Reporting at the University of Arizona for Wildcast, I'm Corina Gallardo.
As always, thanks for tuning into Wildcast. You can watch us anytime online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATV-CH3.
Thanks for sticking with us this year. Have a great summer vacation, Wildcats, and we'll see you next semester.